I decided to start a video journal that I'll post on social media just for the sake of my friends and family who might be able to learn from my experience. I'm going to post the things that I'm doing for my wellness because I ever I have a massive brain injury um, from 2011, having a stroke, and I have 4 boys that God has led me to homeschool, but I don't do it by myself. I do it with a lot of help, and I have a migraine all of the time, but I don't handle it with drugs because I ended up in rehab from that in the first place. I um, I was 25 when I had a massive stroke. My 2 oldest babies were my 2 kids at the time were 18 months and 4 months old, something like that. And my whole life changed overnight when I was newlywed, and we can save that for another day if I want to record that. But the point of this vlog is for me to have it's for me to have a journal of what I'm doing to be better, because it's really, really hard for me to remember what's working and what's not working for my brain when I'm trying to live a functionally handicapped life. And if somebody else watches this and learns something, that would be great. Over the last week, I went to Mexico to a clinic called Bio Advanced Medical Clinic in Tijuana, where I got stem cell therapy and ozone therapy. I've been doing this for years as a way to help my brain. I'm pretty sure it works for me. It's one of those things that I feel like there's no way that it's not working for me with such a damaged brain, to have a bunch of new baby stem cells going up in there multiply multiply like over and over again. It's got to be a good thing for my brain. And and there's this process most of the time where I go to Mexico, I come home, I struggle really hard, and then I'm better. So it seems like that's kind of a theme for everything that I do. I don't get like immediately healed, but somehow I keep going in a world where I shouldn't really be able to. So I'm recording how Mexico went this time. I went to Bio Advanced Medical Clinic on July 16th, my birthday, and I talked to, this time my doctor was Dr. Calzada's son, Alex Calzada, and they do a cool thing where they prick my finger and look at my blood, and then I talk about all of my symptoms, and he handles my symptoms. This time I was mostly talking about the pain that I'm in and the triggers that I have and how can we handle the pain. In the past, I've talked about the depression and the anxiety and the overwhelm, but this time I'm really trying to focus on handling the pain. The migraine I always have, and then it gets better and worse at certain points. The treatments that I had over the 3 days in Mexico was I got like 6 things of mesenchymal stem cells. 4 of them were injected locally into like my temples, along my scar in the back of my head, and then the rest of them were intravenous. Then I also got chelation therapy, IV chelation, and IV ozone, along with other little, with like massages and magnet therapy and things to just kind of make me feel good. But the real therapies I got were the stem cells. I felt so good while I was in Mexico. I felt on top of the world. My mom came with me, and it was a wonderful time to connect with her. And then I came home, and my trip home was really hard. And it's almost like I like shook up those stem cells, and then they had to resettle or something like that, because I've been home for 4 days, I think, and it's been a really hard 4 days. This morning's the first time that I woke up feeling kind of okay, but I did wake up at 3 in the morning. And today I'm in charge of my kids. My nanny has the day off, which is going to be great. It'll be a good thing. I miss them. And one of the hardest things about my recovery is learning that I need so much help. So I use that help. Anyway, as far as my memories of how today went, of how Mexico went, I don't want to make these too long. So my next time, I will be sure to stay in Mexico for an extra day before I come home and let myself rest for a whole day before I come home and shake up my travel plans, because traveling pressure, things like that are so hard on me. The trip home ended up being, I was flying home with Spirit through San Diego, and the terminal was so busy and so crowded, and there was so much overstimulation. My bag was really heavy because I was, I'm cheap, and I brought not carry-ons, only personal items. And my flight, true to Spirit, got pushed out and pushed out and pushed out until I missed both shuttles coming home from Las Vegas, and I was getting this ridiculous anxiety. I just wanted to be home, and I hurt so much, and I started getting panic attacks where I was crying in the terminal, and I felt so stupid, especially after I felt so good for so many days. Of course, Cedric, who is amazing, and he's a pilot, he came and saved me from Las Vegas, and he picked me up from Las Vegas and brought me home, and I ended up getting home that night, and everything was fine. But it's been a few days of recovering just from coming home from Mexico, where I spent so much money to get better, and I feel worse. But that's where the long-term effects of these stem cells is hopeful, and I'm pretty sure I'll feel a lot better. Actually, this morning, waking up, even in the middle of the night, I feel much, much better. So I'm just going to try to let them do their thing and make this little vlog thingy. And someday, hopefully, they get shorter and they get better. And I learned how to edit. But first, let's just start with consistency. That's kind of it, I think. I often like to say, hey, if I can help anybody else, reach out, but this vlog's not for you, it's for me. And I would like to help if I can, but I'll just try to leave as much information as I speak that I can, because please do reach out, but I don't always reply because I have all the intention in the world, but then my life hits and I can kind of deal with myself, and that's it. So anyway, I'll talk to you later.